These are the ingredients for Mama Charlie's sweet potato pie. Hello, and welcome to my channel, Diane's Decorating and More. Thank you for stopping by the channel today. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how my mom made her homemade sweet potato pie. That is the title of this video, Charlie's homemade sweet potato pie. And hopefully you will get some tips from how she shared with us, her daughters, how to make her sweet potato pie. Okay? Thank you for stopping by the channel today again. So as we get started, I've already taken a shot of everything here that will go into this sweet potato pie. And I will give you step by step how I make this sweet potato pie. Okay? So hang in there. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now with our sweet potatoes, we've already baked the sweet potatoes. There are 3 ways that you can do your sweet potatoes, okay? You can bake them in the oven. You can boil them in water on top of the stove, okay? Or you can also roast them. Okay, so what I've done here today is I've boiled them on top of the stove, and I've already boiled them in 1 cup of sugar, so they're already sweet. Okay, I've already tested them, they're already sweet. That's one way you can do it, or you can just boil them without the sugar and then pour off the water and you put your sugar into your pie. So those are the different alternatives that you can use when you're baking your sweet potato pie. And I wanted to share that with you up front. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go ahead and mix the pie so we can get all of the strings out of the pie, because usually sweet potatoes have strings inside. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that part first. That's part 1. Show you exactly, see those little strings there like that? That's what you don't want in your pie. Okay, so you want to be able to whip your sweet potatoes to extract as much strings out of the pie as possible. Okay, clean the beaters right quick. So now that we got that down, add in our 2 eggs, okay? Because it is 1 pie, okay, we use 2 eggs. So it's like 2 eggs per pie. If you're making more than 1 pie, then you would of course use 2 eggs per pie, okay? But since I'm doing 1 pie, then I'm just going to use 2 eggs, of course, okay? So we'll just crack that like that. Now you can if you want to, okay, put your eggs in a separate container and just whip them and pour it in that way. But because I'm used to doing it like this, this is the way I'm doing it. So it's no particular way how you put your eggs in there. Okay? All right, and then we're gonna whip that in there. sure everything is to the center as much as possible when we're doing this, okay? All right. And even if you pick up some strings along the way, it's okay to stop and then rinse your beaters off and proceed, okay? Because you may pick up some more along the way while you're making, even going through the process. It's just little stragglers that that you might not want in there. So if you can get them out, okay? That way when you cook your pie, it won't have those little strings in there, those what I call hidden strings in the pie. Okay, so then we're going to add in our butter next. Okay, all right, this particular sweet potato pie will have 1 stick of butter. Okay, we're going to put that in there. And again, everything's at room temperature. That's your eggs and your butter, okay? And even your milk that you're going to be using is going to be also at room temperature, okay? So we're going to whip that in there. Break down our sides one more time. Okay. Again, making sure that we have everything beaten thoroughly into the mix. Okay. All right. Okay. And then we're going to add our flour. 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay, put that in. And then we're going to put in our just 1 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon. Make sure I have that right. All right. That's your baking powder there. Okay. There. And this is the ground cinnamon. Level. Okay. And of course our nutmeg. Okay. And because of its potency, you don't need that much. So we're just going to put in 1/4 of a teaspoon. Okay. Ingredient. The last one is the cream of tartar. would be the 1/4 teaspoon also. So then we're going to whip that in also. Stop and break down our sides of the bowl one more time. Alright, so now we have all of the dry ingredients in there. We have left our milk and our sugar, okay? And of course our flavorings, alright? So before we get to that, we're going to whip the part that we scraped down on the sides of the bowl. Alright. Okay, so now we're going to add in our flavorings here, or our extracts or essence. Some people like to call it different things. So we have our lemon, okay. Right. All right, and we're going to use 1 teaspoon, okay, of that. And of course rum. Now I will say that rum is a very enhancing flavor, so it doesn't take a lot of that, okay? You don't want it to be too overpowering, okay? So we're going to use the smallest amount of that, and that will give you just the 1/4, which is your smallest of the measuring part here, okay? Vanilla. Good shake there. Okay, we're going to give that 1 teaspoon, okay? All right. That in there. So we have our flavorings in there. We're going to whip that in. Alright. Okay. And now we're going to add our milk in. Okay. So we're going to add, this is the 1/2 cup, okay, for our milk. Stop and scrape down our sides. one thing I know that when you are mixing a sweet potato pie is that as you go along, you want the consistency of the pie to become more and more like silk as it, evolves into what you're trying to get it to become. So look for that silky consistency. That's what you want it to evolve into, almost like an ice cream silkiness. So that's what you're looking for when you're making your sweet potato pie. Okay? All right. So now that we got this all scraped down from the side here. Oops. There. Okay, so all right. We have one last ingredient. Okay. To add, and that is our 1 cup of sugar. Okay. Now before I put the sugar in there, I'm going to do a taste test. So I'll know exactly how much more sugar I really need. Because remember, I said at the beginning of the video, I boiled the sweet potatoes in a cup of sugar. So I don't want to make it too sweet. So I want to just make sure I add enough to give it that overall sweetness that I'm trying to get set up or acquire, okay, for the sweet potato pie, okay? So we're gonna do a little test here. Okay. All right. So we're gonna add, okay, our 1 cup of sugar. And we're going to mix that in. Going to taste it one more time. All right. That's it. Yes. That's it. All right. So now we're at the point where we are ready to switch over to pour our pie into our prepared shell. Okay. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to put it in the oven and bake it, okay, at 350 for about 40 to 45 minutes. Now I'll check it at that point to see if it needs any additional time or if that is sufficient, because it's going into a gas oven, okay? So, and then I'll let you know exactly how much time it took to reach the desired baking time, okay? All right, so we're going to go ahead and pour this into our dish here. All right. Okay. See that. Okay. All right. And again, this particular pie here took 1 large sweet potato and it would take probably 1 large and 1 small for 1 pie. I know in the picture that I shared I had 2 large, and I took 1, and the other one I used for part of my dinner. So yeah, so all you need is about 1 large and 1 small. Okay. Alright. Because it's going to bake down. Okay. I'll show you exactly what this looks like here. Alright. Okay. Alright. So that's what that looks like. Right? Okay, and again, like I said, it's going to go in the oven for that 40 to 45 minutes. And then we'll come back and I'll show you exactly what it looks like once it is done. Okay, so hang tight. Okay, now we are back and our pie is finished. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, that is the finished sweet potato pie. It is hot, so I can't cut it or do anything with it right now. We're going to wait until it cools. Once it cools, we will cut it and we'll show you exactly what it looks like. Okay, so once that does that, then we'll come back. All right, so hang tight. Thank you. Smell, oh my goodness. It smells absolutely wonderful. Okay, we are back and we are now ready to look at our sweet potato pie. It has cooled, okay, and we are going to prepare to cut it. As you can see, it's sitting here on the cooling rack. Okay, that's our cooling rack there. All right, and I did what I normally do when I bake a pie, and I wrapped the crust edges in foil. Okay, so, and that's just to protect it. Okay, so it won't, overcook or brown it too dark. And so that's what in my experience, works best. So now we're going to cut the pie, so I can show you exactly how that looks. Under here. All right, perfect. All right, so this is what it looks like when it is completely finished. Okay, so now hopefully the lighting and the camera will give it justice to you guys and show you exactly what it looks like. Okay. And again, this is Mama Charlie's sweet potato pie. All right. Now we're going to taste it. All right. I'm waiting for this moment. Oh my goodness. This is absolutely delicious. All the flavors that are in there, the vanilla, the lemon. It's just, I tell you, do yourself a favor, okay? And make this sweet potato pie. I will be sure to put all of the ingredients, any changes that I made to it, in the comment section of the video, okay? So that way you'll have step by step and the exact measurements, okay, for you when you make this pie. All right, so please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification button, okay, so you'll know when something else like this is uploaded to the channel. Okay, again, thank you so much for stopping by the channel today here, and that's Diane Decorating and More. Y'all go out and make it a great one. See you next time.
This is good.
That's a big bite, dude.
No, this is good.
You think so?
Oh yeah, this is really good.
I'm glad you like it. That's your mother-in-law's recipe, Mama Charlie's sweet potato pie.
Okay. No, that's good.
Okay, thank you. All right.
I can have that in one bite.
I know. Oh my word.